Hello and welcome back once again, my friends. Hambbage here. Thanks so much for joining me. If you are here for this episode, you are awesome. Let me just tell you that right now. You guys are the true ones. You're into the hardcore experience. You go, you know what? Sounds like this one's going to be a grind. And you're like, I don't care. I'm watching anyway. I want to see it all. Well, I don't know. You secret few may be in for a real viewer's delight because, for all I know, this is an oops. I don't think, honestly, now that everybody else has run away and been like, well, he said grind, I'm out. This is dumb. So you rest of you, I think you're here. We're all going through this together, and I don't think, even if it goes horribly wrong, I don't think this is like potential death loop stuff. I think we're pretty good to mind our business and deal with any mobs. But it could be a little more than just hitting things with a pick for the next 50 minutes or so. I think this time I'm gonna leave a ring. See how that approach goes, what it does for our times and everything. And I tried to jump in as quickly as possible, so we won't worry too much that we're not right from start time. It took us just a second to load the world, but we were pretty much going at that point. We swapped out that one torch, but we're talking 30, 40 seconds maybe. So yeah, I have a feeling we're going to get some friendly and unfriendly mobs working around us here as we go. And for what it's worth, there may be a more interruption. It may affect our efficiency because we'll then have to deal with them on a regular basis. I don't know. But I don't know. We can go up into the upper level mob farm, and it can get a bit hairy at times. But I don't think at this point we're at imminent threat of death. Now that I say that something will go wrong and we'll be in a panic mode. But that's why we play the game, right? That's why we have a totem. We got all those things to try to help us if that should happen. If things get bad, we've got apples in our inventory. We can switch them in for the steaks and have at it, figure it out. But we still get the footsteps of the skellies above us right now to make us jump and scared. Yeah, we'll just kind of see how this plays out for a time. We can mix it up a lot to keep this as entertaining as possible as we just go about getting the bricks done. One way that we'll be able to kind of gauge our progress as we go. For one thing, the torches are going to get less and less visible, so that'll help show that we're moving downward. The other is we should be able to see more and more of that deck in the little space below us. Don't think I want to do 2. Maybe let's try 2. See what that does for us. It's going to slow us down because I didn't check the time, but I don't care that much. We got plenty of time to go, and lots of bricks to break. Now that our wall here, our outer one, is well enough defined, it's pretty easy, and we can kind of. This is, I know, so many Minecrafters that were like many of us, mowed lawns as kids to, kind of get a few extra bucks, whether it's for our folks, whether it was just an expectation. I know for a while, my parents just like, hey, you're going to pitch in, you're part of this family, you live in this house, get out there and mow the lawn. It needs to look nice. But a lot of us did that, whether it was a job or just a chore. Many of us share I remember what mowing lawns was like. And I know for me, I just had to mix up the method. Sometimes you'd do the stripes, and especially as I got older, and I started, when you're first doing it, you're like, oh, it's just hot, I'm miserable, I just want to get done. You didn't care what it really looked like. You were just, as long as there's no long grass showing up, I'm good. Then you get a little older, you start taking a little more pride in it, you kind of care, and like I know for my customers, I wanted to double cut that because I didn't want the stuff that got knocked over to look bad. So I'd kind of do the outer rings like this, and then I'd go opposite directions to help cut and get anything that the blade may have knocked down without actually clipping or cutting, clipping. All that would look clean and nice, well done. Well, patterns, I think past the time of what you're working on there pretty nicely. And this is one, if we find we're short, it's an easy way to go back and get some additional bricks. You can just kind of mirror that staircase back and start cutting under it. But for now, we'll just leave that as a solid space. I think we're getting lots of good brick. But particularly doing these two at a time like this, we have less view of what's around us. And down at this end, that could mean unexpected surprise from a less than friendly neighbor. We'll see what this episode has in store for us. But you can see doing the two, it makes those torches jump up to the heights, and by doing it this way, we kind of save the courtyard, the lava view you are more prone to doing stuff like that, though, till the end. So we'll do all this outer edge and then circle back in, clean everything up. We'll have a few stripes here on this long run, but most of it will be at that far opposite corner. We've kind of, if you go behind us, make the turn, and all the way back across that other long stretch, that's where the fattest part of this little L shape is. But now going back this way, we'll have, let's go the opposites. I know last time we went around, but we'll go the opposite direction this time. A little different view of things. Alright, there's our lava. And we're getting there. It doesn't look impossibly high anymore. But yeah, when I was mowing lawns, sometimes I'd do that, like the outer edge, and just keep pushing in like this. So you got some weird little islands of long grass left, and then you just kind of wrapped around those. But the whole contours of the yard would kind of be magnified into a wild pattern. Sometimes you'd do that from the opposite. You'd, kind of like cut your way into the middle and then start and make a rectangle or an oval or circle or something and work your way out until you caught the outer edges, and would kind of be defined that way. It's just fun to do different little bits. Forgot where I was for a second there. Let's show up. And then other times, like I said, just the stripes, especially when you got older and you cared enough to want to do double double cut a lawn, make it look really good. You do the 2-3 passes around the outside to start. That would give you the turning radius to make sure that you didn't have little weird gaps where you had to turn the mower, and would do, just from one side to the other stripes and then right back again across them. And man, by the time you get done doing that, your lawn looks tip top. And any of you guys that may still be of lawn mowing age, if you want to make some money doing lawns, and I don't know what the current rates are now. It was like $20 was kind of standard, and I had some big yards around me when I was a kid. I hear now it's like one of my buddies pays his kid to mow his lawn. He pays him, first of all, a ridiculous amount just for doing chores. It's like, if you do this, it's like $50 a week, and then if you do this, and I get inflation and all that. I get, if you're a kid, you're like, man, what are you talking about, $20? You do that, I can't even go to a movie for $20. Like, so I get it, right? You guys need an allowance. That parents understand it, and granted, I know not every family has the same financial resources, right? Like, I don't expect parents to be like, oh yeah, you get to go to 2 movies a week on your allowance, or go buy candy and all that, while the rest of them are at home watching TV and reading books and enjoying tuna mac a couple nights a week because it's nutritious and and fairly cheap. It's one of those deals. You have to, as you grow up, you have to be aware of, what your family circumstances are, and don't ask more from your parents when you know that, hey, maybe mom or dad through the pandemic had to change jobs, change careers, things are a little tight. Don't be a jerk and be like, oh, I need new clothes, I need new this. Make stuff last, work as a team, and parents, don't hide those kinds of parts of life from your kids. You're not helping them out as much as you think. Like, oh, little Timmy would be so scared if he knew that we don't have as much money as we used to. Little Timmy will be fine, and he'll be a lot better prepared for life if little Timmy knows that that's a part of what's going on in his life as he's a kid. And I just, again, not a parent. You guys who watch me know that I don't have kids, and I understand that's the bias and perspective I'm coming from. But I know what my parents did as I was being raised, and I've seen plenty of my friends and family, my nieces and nephews grow up. Kids are more resilient than you think. They're Give them a little credit for having some backbone, having some nerve, and not just falling to pieces if you tell them that they don't live in a fairy tale. I've seen that side too, and it's like, hey, they're going to have to go through this at some point in their lives. I don't care who you are, how good you are, whatever you do. At some point, the job that you think you had that was all secure and all that is going to turn out to be, oh, yeah, that company wasn't doing as well as we thought they were, or whatever the case may be. So what do we want to do for this time? Let's go back to the kind of swinging one. I really enjoyed the double. It makes a lot of progress. I haven't been checking the time, but I think we're going to be on a pretty good pace to get all this done in this episode. If we can clear all this brick and get back to our base, I would be thrilled. I think that would be a really good accomplishment for the day. I don't want to slide out that little window hole. We'll see what happens, though. See if that ends up playing out or not. But I'm pretty satisfied with our progress so far. Again, remember with pigmen, whenever you're working in the nether, if you're constantly swinging your pick, don't lift up on your left mouse button, then even if you happen to clip them, like when you break out the block, if it touches them, they won't freak out. They won't come after you. But if you stop to fill a hole like that or something, then make real sure that the first shot with your pick is into a brick, because if it's the first contact, they will react. And here, we'd be pretty safe. We'd have a couple of them. We could manage it, again, try to move away from the opening that we're creating around us, but even that wouldn't be the worst thing. In fact, it may, if zombie pigmen freak out, jumping in that hole may not be the worst idea. If we can then get over and seal up the doorway, we can just chill. I don't think that they will intentionally drop from that height. And then, we could decide, do we want to pillar up and shoot them and clean up that way, just jump back in more on things. It's just a couple of them. Even if, others come running up the stairs or whatever, I'm not too worried about that. I think we can manage that. But you do have to be aware of the zombie pigman horde. That is one thing that can absolutely end you, even if you got good armor, totem, apples, all the rest. If you aren't always thinking, what could happen to me if all these neutral mobs around me suddenly get hostile, then you're gonna learn eventually that's one to constantly, you don't have to be afraid of it the whole time. Look, I'm not worried about these guys around, but be thinking, what's my plan if it does go wrong? In this case, like I just said, I might try jumping into that lava. I don't think that any that are around me up here would jump. I would probably try to kill the ones that I could see that were angry and just see, like, all right, are others coming? If all of a sudden I got a whole bunch of them, I'd jump for the middle there, try to come up and seal the door hole before any could come through. And I know they're not going to jump from that height. And we could figure out from there. Again, do we want to pillar up? Do we want to fight through the windows, any that are down low with us? Kind of stuff. Again, I get it. This grind episode, if you're watching, you deserve a little something more. So, fun to kind of talk about. What's going on in the back of your mind? What are things that you typically don't talk about? That's not the commentary that we're normally doing in and throughout an episode. All right, let's dump and then do a double. I liked the double. And I think we probably had room for all of that. We won't count what we got left, at least until we get through these. But this should give us that nice big push. Careful right there, just to make sure we don't oopsie-daisy it into a pigman, as we just talked about. And again, here I'm, especially as I go on these longer runs, I'm kind of looking for what. So far, nothing has, but what if something does spawn on this upper block that's now above my head? Do you just catch a little bit of motion? We don't seem to hear the wither skellies up above us as much anymore. I think we've gotten down far enough. That's not a deal, which is kind of nice. Not gonna lie. So anything we hear now may be a bit more genuine, worthy of a second look. Kind of settled into a double wide system here. I always like this spiral. Oops. If I can manage it. You guys have seen it when we've worked in the basements and all that. Sometimes you do a 9 pattern, but a nice 4 circle like that, just good rhythm to hitting the W every once in a while if you don't miss stuff. And here in these fortresses, it's even better. When you're doing it in the basements, no matter what pick type you have, you can hit like coal ore, gravel and all that stuff, which I think we all know. I don't want to go reverse though. Um, all that, they have varied thicknesses, right? For lack of a better word, toughness, whatever you want to call it. Iron ore, any of those kind of things. So you're going stone, stone, stone. You got a nice rhythm. It's all zipping right along. Everything's good. And then you hit some iron ore, and your rhythm is off. Here, it's just all nice and smooth. I know it's the drawback of that is you're just endlessly looking at bricks in a little circle. But in terms of efficiency, it's pretty tough to beat. Now that's something. Are we going to get hit here? You can bet I'm ready to shift from the W up to my 1 or 3. That would be the 1 in this case. It's our tool for the wither. Skellies. He must be outside. We do have a little bit of a hill on our right, back behind that nether brick wall that is where he may be hanging out. But yeah, this is working better than I'd imagined. Now, when I was saying like, oh yeah, this is an approach that I don't think I used in the slow cooker world, but have in the past, I've done the staircase like we did, where you go up and down, but in the past, I've always done it as a, just want to check all those guys, make sure they're neutral, not piglins. Yeah, I've always done 2 high floors to prevent, I know I didn't need to worry about it, but he was too in my face. He bothered me. Kind of lost my prior train of thought after that guy got in my face. It's getting further and further away. It's like when you wake up and you remember a dream and you're like, oh man, what's going on? And then it's just kind of like vanish. You're still kind of remembering it, but the details are just going away and away and away. So whatever we were talking about right back over on that opposite corner of this lava area, that's what's happening. Totally gone now. Oh, the two high floors. I was afraid of the wither skeletons spawning around me. So I would do like a dig out like this for the whole area, and then, see, I should just go right through him, but even though I know, I just stop it, man. Get out of my way. It's when they push you kind of from behind and you start to move. You can still just keep picking away and it'll be fine, but it's so unsettling because you're moving in a way you're not ready for. Oh, they aggravate me when they do that. And I know they're relatives. I'm a Hambbage. They're just zombie pigmen. But we all have pig roots. It's okay. I don't mean to get angry at them, but they are bothersome when they do that. Yeah, it's you. I know. See how it just kind of paused there as I moved through them? That's where I think the game is like, yeah, you're not allowed to actually make contact with him. I'm gonna try to let you go wherever it is you're trying to go, dude, and not hit you. Alright, well, that was pretty good. We got a little tail back over here. Then I think we're due to go back down and clear the droppings again. Empty the Well, our pick is still holding pretty well. I think we'll need to switch at least once before we're done. And once we've run down and run over and gathered up all our dropped bricks, if any. In fact, maybe we'll just drop now. Let's do that. It's quicker, right? Because we can jump sprint here. Did I miss one? Keep seeing. There's another one. What else are we missing? Any back there? Let's run around here fully. I guess there's lots of potentially dropped missed bricks. See, when you hit those walls, why? Let me jump quickly. Yeah, we're not that far. Is that half a heart? We got half a heart, and this is way quicker. I should have gone the other way, though. Yeah, there's plenty there. Very worth it. And I think the fastest way to get back to our shulker boxes. Whereas if we'd gone all the way down the stairs, had to run back and forth, that's extra time. And we're trying to get all this done, right? See? Secret tips. Everybody else is like, man, I don't want to watch nether brick harvesting, so they're not seeing it. You guys, you superstars of YouTube and the toehold on eternity world, pat yourselves on the back. You're hanging out for the good stuff. We got that. We wanted to check the time. We're at 26 minutes, so have we done half of what we had left to do? I hope so. Hope so indeed. I think we keep doing the double, though. I don't think there's anything but for to keep doing that. There's our pattern. Ugh, come on. Alright, so we're going to try something here in the next one, because I'm going to tell you about it first. Then, now we're going to be at the corner. As soon as we start this long set, we're going to try to press up against, I'm going to try to get coffee. It was so close. It was close to perfection. I kind of rushed it because I was still talking and not really ready. I should have waited a bit. We'll try it again on maybe on the backside. And then I kicked my mic like all the way back behind my head. It like it can do I guess a full 360 rotation on the earpiece. I don't know. I've never really tried. I got two more there. Oh. It's getting sloppy. That's the caffeine hitting, right? Yeah, so I was like, all right, I got to go quick. And as I was trying to, move the mic and get the cup, it was, then when I came back to try to get the mic at the end, after my sip and swallow, I was struggling to find it. Probably not very exciting for anyone but me. Oh, did you hear it fall? Sad days. We lost a brick. I think that's maybe the only one so far. Let's see how far those torches look above us now. So if we guess that a single level took us about 4 minutes, probably a little more. 2 gets us a little more efficiency, but not much. So maybe 7 minutes per on the doubles. That would be if we'd done all, it would be 8 of those 7s into 56 minutes. That would be a lot. Oh, I hope we get done. Let's just leave it at that, right? I hope we get done in this episode. The 26 minutes was kind of scary, though. It's like, ooh, we've gone a little further. And of course, we had the couple stops to go hit the shulker and all that. I don't know. The race is definitely on. But I think we got to do these as doubles to have any shot. And hopefully, as we get closer down to the bottom, we don't have the threat of mobs. The pigmen were a little bit of a nuisance, and in fact, it may be quicker when we do see them to just kill them off and keep the harvesting free to just be harvesting. I don't know. Anytime you're killing mobs, it's time you're not hitting bricks with picks, and that's the name of the game. Would you stop being a punk? For a second there, he looked piglin-y instead of zombie pig-man-y. I gotta expect we're gonna get something in the way here as we try to finish up. A little bit of a waste here, but zoop it all up. And I guess I probably should have left it for last, but that was an overshot. See, double waste. You gotta go to the bricks, and you gotta fix the hole. Back to the pick. Not what we want to do with our time. Alright. Grab these up. Got this in to finish with our annoying but masterfully in the way friends. You guys are good at what you do, aren't you? That's still that combination of quartz and netherrack behind. It just totally looks like a pigment to me up there. Extra. All right. Let's say we're more than halfway. Alright, here's the next plan. We see if we can get all the way back to the stairs this time using this pick and not breaking it. And if need be, we hop in the little emergency exit hole. And then we'll check the time again and hope for the best. We also have, I'm sure, inventory to deal with. As you can see, I kind of missed one there. just needed a break from the circles, so we'll hover back and forth a little bit here. See, it's sloppy though. That's just so natural to do the spirals. Are we doing the... Let's go the other way, huh? Yeah, that'll feel a little better. As it gets darker, though, I can just feel it is... I hope we got pigment and stuff like that. We got the lava. But I can totally feel my eyes straining to see a variety of the blocks. That's why I keep kind of hugging the walls and trying to use what I can so I don't have to, it's just like do what's in front of you. Especially as you're doing that first edge, it's like trying to look into the distance and know if those are flush or not is brutal. Alright. Excuse you. It's kind of a race, because every time he sees the step, he's going to pathfind for it. I guess I'd be better to do a couple of these, kind of get clear of him, and then hopefully break what's left before he can reach it. I don't know. Oh, I thought we had already... Oh, this is where we started, isn't it? I was like, I thought we'd already gone around from that side. Keep an eye on the pick. There's as much light as we can let in, because now I think the lava is more dominant than the torches way up high. So doing that edge actually helps our lighting a little bit. Sounds like we're still picking stuff up. Yeah, there's some. When you get the groaning and the moaning, it's tougher to... Ugh, come on, man. Would you stop? That is kind of it's a good way to do it. I hadn't ever really had this much time to think on it, but if you break the first blocks first, they never pathfind up, but then you end up doing that. Alright, I think we can... Yeah, see, usually I start my little circles on a top block, and that part actually does have a little thought, and it's exactly as I said with the other. These aren't as bad because the bricks are fairly tough. Even with the netherite pick, it's not quite instant. You gotta hit it, right, to get it to go. But like if you're doing sand or netherrack or something like that, and you start these circles at the bottom, you're going to make holes in front of where you're ever trying to walk. So especially doing the tunnel boring through the nether, which you guys are all too familiar with if you watched any number of my episodes, that is... Oh, no, I can't grab them. I was like... That's where I was like, oh, if I just start upward, then even if I break through or get to the edge that I'm going to, I'm not going to open up lava. And the running and all that is really where that all comes to play. So we are doing pretty well. This is our scheduled stop. It's like a pit stop in a car race, right? Okay, let's go. We're back over here. This is inefficient. We'll check our time, though, again, and see how we're doing. We're close. Think it's going to be tight. Oh, no. Did those all despawn, right? No! Oh, I'm watching them happen. Get it. Oh. Oh, let's run upstairs then. So that's a risk of doing two doubles is you may despawn. Although, I don't even know if we have a two double need left. I guess we got all this extra half to do too. We aren't that done. Let's run around here and grab all these before they despawn. Yeah, despawn hurts at the best of times. It really hurts when your whole point is coming up. All right, check the time. We are now at 40 minutes, almost 41. Oh no. I don't know if we're gonna make it, guys. Gotta rush. At some point, the advantage is going to be that we can just reach upward and kind of look at the sky and clear everything out. We might be able to do that after we finish this up. We'll see. I don't know what that does for our efficiency. We may, regardless, we may do one more double. We've got 20 minutes. I still think we're good despite the tightness. It's just, you got to plan for delays and all that, right? Okay, now this is tough to see, but I think that's our deal. We just got to come back out this way. This way again. Anything I don't have to try to look at a distinction between blocks is pretty nice. I don't know why that just feels so much less natural than starting at the top. And it totally doesn't matter. And a lot of times when I'm in the lower levels and I'm doing stones or whatever, it just kind of ends up being a zigzag and all that because you can't maintain the circles. But all right, get all these extras. Let's start this one back at an edge so we can kind of really see what we've got left. So if we do a double, we'll have two left above. And I think at that, I'd rather do them two up above my head instead of a single and then a single above my head. I don't know, I'm seeking these guys out now to try to make this more difficult, but get the precision part over with. Oh, you see, he knew. He was like, oh, the precision part. So right where it's gonna be tough to see, that's where you want me to get in your way, huh? Okay, let me go over into this corner where it's going to be tough to see, and I'll get in your way there too. I know your game. Okay. Now all the toughish stuff is done. We just go for speed, right? We had 20 minutes or so. 19. We theoretically have like 14 minutes if there's 7 per of picking plus a little delay. I don't know how fast or slow working the 2 levels above our head is going to be. It's going to be tight. But if we can get everything done and wrap this up, and I had hoped to get back to base, that's just not possible. I don't think there's any way we can do that. But if we can at least get back to heading to the base, that would be good. And then, so for, again, you rock stars that are still actually watching this and listening, as opposed to not just like skipping through, which frankly I would be. But if you are here, hey, you're awesome. Say, what should we do? If you comment, something that fits. If you type 14 minutes to freedom in, and now we're already past it, but that's the comment. 14 minutes to freedom in the comments for this video. If you're the first one, because I can't imagine that there will be more, but don't expect them to comment back there that, oh yeah, you're the winner or anything like that. And it's not really a winner-y type deal. But if you're a creator and you see that, I'll hit you back in your videos, and let's say whether you're short or long-term content, I will commit to 2 hours of watching uninterrupted stuff to go deep. And if I'm not already, most everybody that's commented, I think, new people are coming in all the time, which is great. You guys are awesome. Hi, new people. If this is your first taste, don't worry. I don't always grind nether brick for a full episode. We're just trying to get this done, and there we'll be back to adventure next time. But yeah. Most everybody that's like a regular commenter, if you are a creator yourself, I have appreciated it. And frankly, if I see you, you comment, unless I'm caught in something else, one of my first moves is to go pull up your name in YouTube and see if you've got content of your own, and then I'll go check it out, because that's awesome. And I think that the whole community sense is why I wanted to do this. But if on the off chance you're somebody new who has seen this bit and says the 14 minutes to freedom magic catchphrase, I will definitely subscribe to you. I will flood videos, even if they're not a part of the 2 hours. I will hit you up with likes all over the place and glowing comments in videos, even if they're like weeks or months old. I'll do my best for you, because you guys are hanging out in this video and actually watching it. And if you happen to see this video and it is I don't know, 2027, and I'm still creating what this is like in the dustbin old playlist stuff, I don't care. You're awesome. First of all, I do that all the time. I watch so many playlists and series and things that people have long since forgotten, and I throw comments in there. It's like, I wonder if they even see this. I'm guessing, like YouTube's gotta have the notifications have to go up. Hey, you have all these, but I know, some of those content creators get hundreds of comments per episode, per day, whatever, and they may not check back. That's cool. I get it. What did I do? You made me do that, sir. Sir, do you feel shame? So yeah, if you're seeing this and it's old, in my opinion, and when I'm watching others, I'm like, man, I'm just as happy to be getting views on the old stuff. It means you want to go watch a playthrough that's already up. You know whether there's 5 or 500 more videos to go that are ahead of what you're watching, but you want to see how it plays out. That's a viewer after my own heart. We are kindred spirits, so definitely, if you haven't seen a comment and you're watching this through and you're like, 14 minutes to freedom, man, I don't see any comments on this video. What's going on? Throw it in there. But then you're gonna have to remind me, right? So, if you're seeing this and it's September before the 20th or something, just throw it up there. I should hopefully be able to recall it by that long. If I don't respond, though, or you don't see me back in your channel, let me know. The other thing that I will do, even if you're not a content creator, you're getting a shout out in whatever the next recorded episode. I'll be like, oh, so and so got the it'll be like the radio DJ. You got the phrase of the day. Dun dun dun. You're eligible for a drawing of 700 other people for concert tickets to some concert performer or something that we want to hype. I wish I could do that for you guys, but I will definitely get you back with the support. All right, so this is it, our last bit. Escape. We got 8.5 minutes, 8 minutes, so only a minute to spare if it goes as well as we've aspired to. But even so, we were saying that at one at a time, we had something. Oh, uh-oh. Are you cool? You cool? Don't get mad at me, dude. That wasn't my fault. I tried to warn you. Okay. Warn the pigman that there's a drop. I don't think he lost a heart. Like, we wouldn't lose a heart or any actual damage. We'd make the thunking noise, but I don't think we'd take damage. So we're hoping that's the same thing for them. Last thing we want to do is make them angry. Oh, it's going to be tight. But we get more light from our original torches. You got to find the bonuses where you can, right? That's a bonus. It's weird that the sound is like 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was an extra. Regardless of the fact that I'm just kind of spinning. Listen to it. Here, I'll shut up. Broke a little bit. It had it at the beginning. Then sometimes I gotta move, but okay. Good. Okay. So if I carefully set, he's like, "What happened? I'm spinning." I broke his mind. Why does he spin? It's like he wants to be up the extra layer, and since he can't be, you don't want to be up there. There doesn't exist for long. Oh, so good to know we're gonna, even if we end up going over, I don't think we will though. I got confidence. I think we got this. I think we're moving pretty good. Clip. Can get this whole outside done, and then it's just, oh, if we don't stop breaking the walls. It's tougher when they don't go all the way down. You kind of clip or see the edge of what you got. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer. We didn't get a chance to get back to base and completely finish up all that we wanted to here. But we should be done with all the digging, picking, chopping. And, I mean, is it just picking at rock? Like, you know, you use a shovel. You can be shoveling, but you can also be digging. Use an axe. I don't think you can, you know, you can say I was axing something, but I think everybody's kind of like, you were chopping. Or shaving. You can shave with an axe if it's sharp enough. Whittle a bit. More with a hatchet than a true axe, but you guys know what I mean. But with a pick, it's kind of the opposite there, right? Like, can you have another verb for what you're doing with the pick? You're breaking, maybe? Alright, now it's just all a big break fest. Yeah, I guess break. Scraping, you know, like in literature and stuff, it's like, you know, usually when you're using a pick, it's pretty miserable. The stuff is not moving. If it's easier, then you're shoveling. So as I'm thinking back to anything that's describing it, usually mining that stuff with a pick is kind of punishment. You're trying to get out of a bad way, or you're being forced to do it. So it's like scraping and toil and all that kind of stuff. Usually there's not a lot of like celebratory words for swinging a pick. Glamorous. I don't know. I think I've exceeded my quota for pick-related talking. Definitely exceeded my own tolerance for doing this. That's for sure. So we were beginning to talk a little bit here as we were about at this point in the last one, or the last level. You know, you just stay right there. Come back for him. So in the next, obviously we're going to have to make the trip back to the base, and I don't think I want to dump any of this. I think what I want to do then is go from the base out to the build site with some chests. Last time, remember, we didn't have any wooden chests. We left a ender chest there, which will be for, you know, kind of convenience sake, just so we don't have to place and break and place and break. Not that we won't have one ready. But we didn't have any chests, and I'd like to set up some actual storage so we can free our shulkers, because again, before we really get building, the next trips are going to be to warped forest in the nether, for trees and the fungus and all that kind of stuff, as our alternate building supplies. So still lots to do. Come on. Hurry. And yeah, I didn't know what would happen, but aside from the pig men, no mobs in all of clearing out this hole. I don't want to jinx it now, but I other than the fact that it would slow us down and make this a longer episode, this was a pretty good, pretty good way to do it. Like I said, I'd done it with all the floors. You know, if you can imagine, every third level, I had a floor before with a staircase going up, and that definitely slows this process down. This is, you guys may think like, man, you did a whole episode of breaking these bricks. Trust me, for by and large, what, like 52 to 3 minutes of this total recording time, our pick was swinging. We weren't wasting a lot of time, and that's when you're doing stuff like this. And for all of you guys that are big TNT fans, this is one where you can't go, oh yeah, just use TNT. It's not going to do anything to these bricks. Maybe you break like two. I don't know. But it's not going to do much. And you're way better off doing this. Now, beacon would be a huge help. You just have to find a place to set it. But somewhere like that, you know, you're going to find these structures are similar enough. You'll probably find something like that or an edge around. So you could set your beacon and how? Oh, I thought these were the stairs. But this isn't the stairs, so we just chopped out the bottom of our stairs. Or we already had or something. Oh, we already had. Okay, never mind. We're not going to waste time with that now, because I would imagine we are right up against it. Let's take a look. See how quick I need to talk. An hour and 1, 2. Sorry, guys. We didn't make it. We absolutely failed in our quest. It's a bummer. But for what it's worth, we got it done. And even though we're long, let's just go take a look here at the site we have created. It's not pretty, it's not anything, but when you consider that with the exception of this little area, that was solid bricks, in 2 episodes, or 3, if you count the beginning framing on the bottom, 3 episodes, we gutted all that out and loaded up a bunch of shulkers full of, we can't see them here, I won't waste the time, but shulkers full of brick. So that's a very good, robust building material. We can throw that up in the world, and even when if we do need to go inside to battle, we will be able to swing swords and stuff and not worry about breaking it. Where if we were using like the nether wart or the warp fungus or whatever it is, then if we missed a drowned, hit it with our sword a couple times, it'd break and the whole thing would be leaking all over the place. Disaster. So this is a great material. We're going to be happy we have it. We've already gone over, so let's go ahead and save this out. Again, if you are the hero viewers that watched all the way through this, you already know. Do it up and enjoy. Otherwise, thank you. You know, whether you care or not, whether you comment or not, if you've been around, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. If you just clipped back in at the end here to see what we're talking about for next, it's back a little bit, but for now, thank you even for hitting view. I love you guys hanging out, and I know some of these are a little boring, but we are now set as far as Nether Brick goes. So take care, be awesome, have a good break. I may be back for one more today, may not, we'll see. And we'll talk. Yeah, I think I will be back for one more. Maybe a shorter one. We want to get back, reset. We'll probably save the warp forest and all that kind of stuff gathering for the real life tomorrow. So, anyway, you guys take care. Thank you. There it is, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.